Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Hearts of Iron 4, Poland Stronk. Having conquered Russia, and now we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs waiting for an opportunity to kill the German Reich. But of course, before we can do that, we are going to have to build up a load of forts and other static defenses and continue producing as many tanks, mechanized, motorized, and so on as possible. I did reduce the number of civilian factories we are constructing just because it was a tiny bit of overkill, I think. We do still need to focus primarily on the military side of things. Also pulled back a little bit on the motorized because we're producing way more per day than I really need. I actually can pull it back a little bit more. We're only producing, what, 10 medium tanks per day? Really, we need to be producing 20% more medium tanks than motorized just to break even on my 40 combat with divisions. So, yeah, I mean, this has a lot of efficiency to go, and it will get there, but for now, that's plenty of motorized. Let's continue focusing on getting a bit more infantry equipment upgrades, and also a bit more mechanized. Okay, I think I already set my trade up, so we're fine on that front. So let's see, what do we want to do now? Well, we have a whole bunch of defensive units that are about to finish training, which will be great. So I'll go ahead and create one more defensive army that'll fit under this field marshal, and then we'll fill this guy out. So we need what? Another 11 here, and that'll be 7 full armies of defensive-oriented troops, which is pretty reasonable, I guess. 550 defense, though. I mean, man, wouldn't it be nice if we could have thrown on some sort of a tank, you know? Man, a heavy tank or something with some armor value. Now, that would be nifty. Any armor at all would be awesome. I actually don't know. I wonder. Hang on. If I removed you and replaced you with, let's say, a mechanized... Oh, fascinating. So, yeah, that would kind of mess up some combat with a tiny bit, but it would result in a lot more piercing and that teensy-weensy bit of extra armor value. A lot more defense, too. What do you know? Huh. Huh. Yeah, I mean, that little bit of armor is nice if your enemy has 0 piercing, but again, I don't expect it this late in the game that's going to be the case. All infantry, I think, basically has a small amount of piercing value, 18.5, which means I think I would have to have a minimum armor value of 20 before I'd feel like I even have a chance at getting any value of it against the Germans. And obviously, we're not there yet. All right, let's go ahead and create that new army I was talking about, place it right over here. We need to change the color to something a little bit different. How about green is not in this army yet. That'll be fine. We'll make it a lighter green or something. Yes, that seems fine. Okay, so that's going to be our new army there. How are we feeling against Japan? So we have a whole army here and a whole army here. Is that enough to hold the ties against the Japanese? Probably not. Maybe. It's kind of questionable, but the Japanese don't really push very hard in Siberia. Not exactly the easiest territory to work with, if you know what I mean. So I think we do want to keep these guys primarily on the German front. And if that's the case, let's go ahead and set up a whole new set right along here. Sure, like that. Okay, so we're going to have 2 lines of troops, primarily. So these guys are primarily offensive. But I'm really more worried about Germany than anything else. Whatever, let's go ahead and set these guys up. So we got a lot of troops that are building up here against Germany. How many troops do I have right now? We're up to 233. There is a chance, albeit a small one, that I'm actually getting close to being equivalent to the Germans in terms of fielded manpower. Nowhere close in terms of production values, though. Nowhere close in terms of planes, either, which is a major downside. It's going to be very, very difficult. Ooh, people are trying to do some landings over here. It's going to be very difficult for me to actually have any meaningful amount of air superiority. Yeah, so the Americans, or I guess maybe the French and the British, are attempting some landings around Belgium. But it appears to be an immediate failure, and they're not making a lot of progress. So they're just throwing their troops away. How many troops you got? You're not sitting on much. I've overpowered the UK in that sense. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, the one thing that we are good at is fielding tons and tons of bodies, because we are Russia 2.0, basically. So I do need to keep doing that. Keep tossing more troops on the field. This will be enough. That'll get me all of those full divisions. How are we looking in terms of logistics? Doing okay in terms of infantry equipment, artillery, anti-tank, and so on. So if I wanted to start training some more offensive divisions, could we do so? For example, you still have not been converted to 40 combat with divisions. So that's a lot that we would need to change. I don't really know if I want to change my mountaineering companies. I mean, they could situationally be good. If I change you up, this does cost me more manpower, more infantry equipment, towed artillery, support equipment, and motorized. I have all of that available right now. But mostly I'm falling behind in artillery, believe it or not. So I can change these guys up, but I can't quite... You know what, we're going to... Nah, blah, 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 blah. Do I want to train up some new ones instead? How many can I train before I'm going to start having problems? Okay, so I can get to about 11 before I'm going to start running out of artillery. We'll catch up on this, though. Can I train a whole new army of this? It's going to take me a little bit to get the artillery I need, but in theory, yes. Artillery producing 27.14 per day. I need roughly how much more? 3,000 towed artillery. And I was producing, what was it, 27 per day? That means it'll take me about 110, 111 days, give or take, before I'm going to have enough artillery. These guys will be trained in... I wish it told you how many days. I think we actually can do this. Yeah, we can train a whole new army of 40 infantry and artillery. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get started on that. And I wanted 8 of these 40 medium tanks, which means I need 8 times 550 is... Why is my brain not working now? 4,400. Yes, 4,400 medium tanks, which we're actually getting very close to having. All right. Now this is great. Air modernization program is done. All right. We can work on rocket development. That could be fun. Alternatively, what? What else? You know what? Will construction engineering do me a whole lot of good right now? Not especially. Army training, no. Tech sharing, faction research, we don't have. So maybe produce more fighters for a while, I guess. If I were building... This is infrastructure, air bases, naval base, forts. Once I get to the fort stage of things, this actually will speed things along a little bit. Alright. Let's think about this for a second. I don't necessarily want to waste my 100% boost down here. Though it's not going to come to any benefit, because they're all going to be on time. So actually, I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, yeah, I guess we can go ahead and just do the anti-tank focus and just get a slight upgrade there. It's not going to cost me much of anything, really. Seems fine. I could really use more generals, even if they're terrible. So let's go ahead and start prepping some new ones. Do they have any abilities? Planning speed, chance to get wounded in combat. You idiot. Well, planning speed, I guess, is okay for offense. And then we'll just assign a couple more crappy generals over here. I wasn't saving that political power for anything in particular, I think. It has been a week. You know, I recorded everything last week, and now I've had a break, and I'm trying to reacclimate myself. I think we had talked about maybe doing the Chief of Air Force, but we don't need it right now. Yeah, I might as well just get some extra generals. Location will be set over here, I guess. Alright. Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty good amount of defense. If I have the forts to back it up, it's going to be excellent. Romania has started building up an army again. You're fascist. I really don't think you belong in this faction, to be honest, but alright. 26 troops, huh? Well, it's not nothing. Finland, what do you got? 8. Estonia? 4. Yeah. I don't really have a lot of allies to rely on. Sometimes I wonder if it would have been better if I had not created my own faction and instead just joined the allies when I wanted to. You know? Just held out, teased them for a bit, like, oh, if you'll just wait, I'll totally join. That might have been good. I don't know. Maybe? Eh. So you guys are orange. Want to have some different colors. Dive bombing is done. Sweet. Alright, air doctrine, we can go for ground support. What I really need to go for is as much air superiority, mission efficiency, and effectiveness as possible. Air superiority, 10%. Yeah, interception, detection, ground support, air superiority, yeah. Ground support is good and all. But 100% it's going to be all about that air superiority. He'll have more planes, but I'm going to focus, like, literally everything I've got in one focused area, and then just hold it. How much field and manpower do we have right now? In the field, 3 million men. Ah, Poland has come a long way. How much are we generating per month? 10,000 manpower per month? You know, that ain't half bad. That really ain't half bad at all. Considering, I guess the highly populated non-cores of Russia are actually pretty good. Who would have guessed? All right, let's see. Do I want to work on things like hospitals and stuff? I think I want to go for some maintenance companies. Let's get those as upgraded as possible. Probably should go ahead and toss these on here. Does increase reliability. Does reduce organization and so on a little bit as well. Cost me some extra support equipment and manpower, but I think it's ultimately going to be worth it. I need these tanks to be as effective as possible for as long as possible. Could do something similar over here, I suppose. It does increase your equipment capture chance, by the way, whenever you are encircling and killing troops, which is interesting. But alright. I think for now that's going to be fine, unless I want to toss it onto the mechanized. If I do that, the reliability here goes up too. What is the default reliability? 80%. So yeah, increasing that a little bit more is not the worst thing in the world. It's going to cost me a lot more of my precious army experience, but I think it's going to end up being worth it. Because I don't really have the production to just outdo the Germans, right? Every time one of my tanks breaks down is more dangerous to me than when one of his tanks breaks down. Bulgaria breaks their non-aggression pact. Uh-huh. Hey, construction tech. Sweet. All right, we've maxed that out. I guess we'll go ahead and do dispersed industry to increase our factory production even further. January 5th or so of 1943. Getting there on time. Hey, look. More naval invasion attempts. Keep doing that. I don't know. I mean, if I can... The thing is, if I am able to draw the Germans' attention towards me, we can give the Allies an opportunity. Do you know? Actually got a... Where did I get extra civilian factories? Am I trading more all of a sudden? I might be exporting more than I used to. That's interesting. Logistics company upgrades. All right. Field hospitals and stuff. I think we'll go ahead and start getting things like the heart attack and piercing value and stuff for my troops. Unless there's anything else. Actually, I can justify getting started on some upgraded aircraft now using that 100% bonus. You know, 5 research slots still doesn't feel like nearly enough, if I'm being honest. It's going to improve a lot once we get the streamlined line, though. That production efficiency growth is not to be underestimated. We've produced somewhere on the order of like 30 or 40,000 extra guns since you last looked here. So we're getting there. We're upgrading everybody. How are we doing in terms of production and training new troops? Pretty solid. How are we doing in terms of our total artillery? We're over halfway there from where we used to be. So, okay. Yeah, we'll be able to field all this. Shouldn't even impact their training time. Perfect. So, how are we doing in terms of medium tanks? Hey, we finally have enough. I want 8. We'll do this once for now. The only thing I'm missing is some towed artillery. But that's it. So we're going to set you up there. Then, I would love to train 16 mechanized if we could. I'm not sure we have the production to justify that. We need 4,000 more mechanized. That's a taller order. $4,000, huh? 4,700 almost, actually. So we're producing 15 per day. Yeah, that's going to take a while. That's going to take 313 days just to produce enough mechanized. We are improving that, but we're actually pretty high in efficiency, believe it or not, and that's still not nearly enough. Okay. I don't think I can justify quite this much mechanized. Could I justify something else that's reasonably good? I mean, the motorized have pretty decent defense. The infantry have more, but I think I will use them. Because I definitely have enough of that. 2,700 mechanized is far more manageable. All right. It's not perfect, but it'll have to do for the time being. I need to make sure I have enough of a stockpile of mechanized that I'm able to reinforce as needed, so don't forget that. And besides, motorized are good. They're fine. Oh, of course, now I don't have anywhere near enough artillery. No, I'm sorry. That was still the 40 combat with infantry. We're fine. We'll be fine. All right. I would like to convert all of you to 40 combat with as well, but I'm very happy that we're at the very least going to have a really good tank division. Followed up with reasonably strong mechanized with a bit of armor. Again, I look at that and I say, maybe that doesn't matter. But then I look at the 800 defense and I think, that's actually still pretty good. Anti-tank guns are done. I don't know if I want that. I'm going to go ahead and do... Wait, am I? Hang on. Am I going to do that? Yes. We're going to try it. I don't think it's going to give me anything. But I want to see if this actually will give me just an armor upgrade or research boost in general. Now that we're in 1943, I feel like that 100% research bonus is now feasible, that if it does apply to the modern tanks, I'll take it. If it doesn't, well then, that sucks. The Allies keep attempting to land things over here. I'm glad that the Allies have not given up. But until I have tanks, there's no way I'm helping them. So, they're on their own. Motorized, at the very least, are going to be very easy. I can produce a ton of those. Which is great, actually. I can use them for suppression if I need to. I can also redeploy them to other front lines quickly if I find them having trouble with, let's say, Japan. At some point, I might not even have enough field marshals. I'll just have to go ahead and create a whole new set of armies. If we've got the manpower, we have to use it, dang it. That is the rule. 40 combat width is almost fully supplied. How are we doing on construction? Well, we're done with all the civilian factories. That's good. Finishing up a few more military factories. That's also good. We've gotten started on some of our radar towers. They don't take outrageously long to build. Yeah, less than a month. Again, it's all the anti-air and the forts that are going to take forever. Streamlined line. Excellent. All right. Do we want another political advisor? No. Do we want the Chief of Air Force? Yes. Go ahead and pick you up now. All right, so with that done, I'm going to go ahead and get started on nuclear reactor tech. It's going to be a long time before we can make use of it, but it is pretty helpful. Remind me what this does. It creates enriched uranium, yes. It doesn't provide any other benefit that I can think of. It doesn't, like, increase factory production in a state, I don't think. Does it? Pretty sure it doesn't. But producing a lot of fissionable material that I can use for a nuke, that would be fun. Oh, good. I need a lot more steel. U.S. Trade. Siam. Trade. Thank you. Of course, now I'm not producing anywhere near as fast, but whatever. Once I'm done with these factories and I've found out for sure this tank thing doesn't work, which again, I'm just expecting, I'll go ahead and switch over to construction focus so we can get done with our factories and stuff. Sorry, not factories, forts and such a lot faster. Come on, finish deploying, dang it. Do we have any green troops? I could generate a lot more army experience if I just start doing some training. That's another thing that I could be doing, is just making everyone into regulars. I suppose it's not even a bad idea. It's not that I don't have the infantry equipment to go around. Yeah, you know, that's actually not a horrible thought. What if we did this? I'll be generating how much per day? 0.084 per day. Should be told it's not a ton. Maintenance company upgrades. Nice. But it's getting extra experience trying to turn people into regulars, so we'll have that extra 25% combat bonus. That's not so bad. Let's see, reliability is going to go up to 10% because maintenance companies have been improved. Perfect. And our current variation of medium tank... Why did I just do that? No. I wanted it... We already have max reliability. Okay. Don't think that actually hurt me at all. Direct ground support is done. Let's go for the air superiority mission efficiency and the mission experience gain for air wings. I don't have enough air experience to speed this along, unfortunately. Disperse industry will be done shortly, and that's going to help. About to see the rest of our 20 width infantry divisions being deployed. Could start upgrading them to 40 combat width if I wanted to, but I don't think that's usually worth it. Mengakuo, Tibetan Empire. Aha, everyone's canceling their non-aggression pacts. They are seeing an opportunity to attack me. Yep, Japan's definitely going to do things like that at some point soon. Would be nice to have some forts down over there as well, actually. Not a high priority comparatively, but it would certainly slow them down. There's actually a couple of forts already over here for some reason. All right. Well, we'll try for things like that. It might help. All right, we're about to finish up with our last military factory in just a couple of weeks. And that'll be pretty much all that I was setting aside for production. Looks like it's going to be going toward extra fighter production. We're only producing 5 per day, even after all of this. Oy. Cruiser tank experiments are done. All right, we're going to go ahead and work on the construction engineering. That's going to improve my fort and anti-air and radar station speed by a fair bit. And it's basically indefinite, so I don't ever have to really worry about this again. So did it actually give me... See? No, we didn't get any bonus. I knew it. Oh, what a shame. What a drag. All right. This offensive army. Where am I going to set you up? I will set you up along here. Your primary goal is to push around to Vienna and try to cut off Slovakia, because that's an obvious and easy choke point if I can make it work. I'm a little concerned about this area down here. There are a lot of troops against my border. I don't have anywhere near enough to defend here. If Bulgaria wants to attack me, they can win. We'll have to be very careful with that. Disperse industry is done. All right. Could start working on the close air support. Gonna go ahead and start working on things like the... Is there anything else I want to produce? Hang on. Not worrying about ships. I guess close air support, technically. Could also upgrade our mountaineers a little bit, but meh. These are all upgrades. This technically matters a little bit, yes. Getting to this would be nice. So we can start producing the best possible quality anti-tank. But I think I would rather go ahead and use my ahead-of-time bonus and get the best close air support. I think we may need to train up some more defensive units. Because I still don't feel like we have enough. We've got a really wide front line against a lot of people. So I'm going to set these guys up that way. We should already have enough equipment, so that's no problem. We'll go ahead and start creating some new defensive armies we can use against Bulgaria and just try to hold on to Istanbul and our African holdings, while the main war focuses down over here. Let's see. We don't have any green troops left by now, I would certainly think. Regulars still have a bit of a ways to go. In terms of equipment, we're fine. Are we catching up on mechanized? Yes. So I don't think this is actually going to slow down my training time at all. That's good. In terms of medium tanks, we've already got a fair number of spares. It is amazing to me how fast you go through medium tanks, so I don't want to get complacent on that exactly, but yeah. I'm going to go ahead and start training up a few more motorized. But not too many. Got to be careful not to use up all my artillery and stuff, all my motorized, blah, blah, blah. Each of these requires how many? 530, yeah. But these will be pretty good for defense and stuff. A very good elastic defense if we want them. I don't mind holding on to a few of them. Just for various purposes, who knows. Or maybe I could add them onto this army. I don't know. If we have enough equipment, I could start converting the last of my 20-width infantry offensive units into 40 combat width. I'm starting to build up a surplus of artillery. We actually have a pretty good amount of anti-tank. I may want to start pulling back on things like that pretty soon here. Anti-tank and anti-air. I think we're overdoing it a little bit. Granted, I'm probably going to be getting some new versions soon. But like anti-tank, yeah, I don't think we need this much anymore. We're fine. Let's pull that back, get some extra factories. We'll apply it to what? Kind of want more fighters, to be honest. But I don't think that's necessarily what we are going to do. Could start producing some more close air support, better quality eventually, pretty soon. Anything else that stands out to me as something I really need? I'm basically producing everything I'm capable of producing. I could increase the amount of mechanized we're able to produce. And I think that that's worth it. For some reason, we have an excess of tungsten. How'd that happen? Not seeing a whole lot going on over here in the, in Normandy or Western France. Take that back. There they are. You keep landing, but not taking the port. That's not exactly a winning strategy, if you know what I mean. All right, almost done with our first round of mechanized. Bit longer to go here on the mediums. They'll be done in August of 1943. In 2 months. 2 months, and we will finally have one tank army. Just one. Free France is still alive down here. Vichy France has not been pushing very hard, have they? United Kingdom actually appears to be pushing pretty well against Italy in Ethiopia. They're working their way up toward Egypt. Well, that could be helpful. If we could push their presence out of Africa, it might make it easier for us to focus our efforts in Europe. All right, so here's some mechanized and motorized. Let's go ahead and create up a new army. You guys are absolutely going to be focusing exclusively on this small, narrow line. I'm going to be very careful not to accidentally do this so that they go walk through Berlin. Hang on. Some of you are going to go that way. Some of you are going to go this way. Yeah, there we go. I'll split them up later. Here's the rest of the mechanized. So that's the end of that. I have a bit of a deficit of motorized, believe it or not, but that's fine. Cavalry expert, mechanized attack and defense, motorized attack and defense. I like that. I also like the air superiority, but this is going to be helpful. Also, I mean, 10% more defense. That's like 80%, 80 more defense value on my mechanized. Like, that's really good. These guys are almost regulars, actually. That'll be helpful. There we go. 25% combat modifier for all of them. So you guys don't really need to be training anymore, so let's go ahead and stop with you. We have a new variant of fighter. Next would be jets. It's time to go ahead and start working on things like our anti-tank upgrades, land attacks, so on, blah, blah, blah. Because I think in the next year, we are going to be going to war. Fighters. Time to create a variant. I can give you a single engine upgrade. Oh, yay. Might as well. All right. It's going to take a while to build up that efficiency again, but these are actually going to be pretty solid fighters. Hopefully ahead of time from what the Germans actually have in their arsenal. How are we doing in terms of construction? We are plowing through our anti-air right now. It's going reasonably quickly. It only takes, I think, about 3 weeks each to build up, so we'll have a pretty good defensive network there. Nothing else here seems important right now. Let's go ahead and start working on the land and night attack. We'll try using that. Available planes in reserve. You don't frickin' say. Well, your goal is simply to be in eastern Germany and nothing else. I guess we could hold the planes back just to protect Warsaw. At least for a little while. Because I guarantee you there's going to be plenty of German planes to shoot down here. At least eventually. Alright, well, we are starting to run lower on manpower, believe it or not. Think we're kind of starting to reach our limit as far as what we can continue producing. I've got plenty more defensive armies on the way. These guys have all become regulars. You're all regulars. Regulars. Regulars, regulars, regulars. Perfect. All right. Defensive armies all now get a 25% modifier in combat. Your turn, offensive armies. Let's go ahead and start training all of you for a little bit. Let's make you good at what you do. I don't know. Might make a difference. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, even though this was a relatively uneventful episode. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.